Hello everybody and welcome to the last video for Unit 4. This is section 4.8 in your textbook, and it is over using matrices to solve systems of equations. And I will go ahead and tell you this is primarily going to be done in your calculator, so go ahead and get that out. Make sure that you take notes and have any questions ready for us when you come in tomorrow morning. So first thing, matrix equations. So we have solved systems of equations using graphing, substitution, and elimination. But now we're going to learn how to do it using matrices. This will be particularly useful when we have equations with three variables. Now, typically we're not going to see anything like that because when we talked about solving systems, we did things with using only two variables. But that's really when this is helpful. It makes it a lot quicker. Before you start, make sure that both of your equations are in standard form and the variables are in the same order, alphabetically. Is usually best, like we've said in class. So setting up the matrix equation. Given a system of equations, negative 2x minus 6y equals 0 and 3x plus 11y equals 4, since there are two equations, there will be two rows, and since there are two variables, there will be two columns. There are three parts to a matrix equation: the coefficient matrix, the variable matrix, and the constant matrix. Okay, so for our equation here, the coefficients are placed in the coefficient matrix, so that's going to be our negative 2, negative 6, 3, and 11. Your variable matrix will consist of a single column. That's going to be your x and your y. It'll look like this. Okay, and then the matrices are multiplied and represent the left side of your matrix equation. So it'll look like this. Okay. So when we multiply those two matrices together, we should get the system of equations that we have up there at the top. The right side consists of our constants. Two equations equals two rows. Looks like this, and one single column again. And this is the right side, like I said. So now we put them together. It looks something like this. Okay. So now we'll solve it here in a minute. Solving a matrix equation. So before we do anything else, to solve matrix equations, we got to get the variable matrix alone on one side. Okay, get rid of the coefficient matrix by multiplying it by its inverse. So we talked about multiplying by an inverse last class. So this should be a little bit familiar. When solving matrix equations, we will always multiply by the inverse matrix on the left side of the coefficient and constant matrix. Remember, commutative property does not hold with matrices. Okay, so that's going to look something like this. We multiply both sides by the inverse of the negative 2, negative 6, 3, and 11 matrix. And what that does is that gets rid of one of those matrices. So the left side of the equation simplifies to identity times the variable matrix, giving us just a variable matrix. And it'll look with this. Okay, so on the right side, using a calculator, we can simplify the left side. The coefficient matrix will be A, and the constant matrix will be B. We then find a to the negative 1b, or the inverse of a times b. So now let's see what that looks like in our calculator. So go ahead and get out your calculator and follow along with me. All right, so let's start by entering our matrices. So we'll go to second and hit our x to the negative 1 button right here to bring up our matrix menu. Okay, now we're going to go over to edit. We're going to enter in matrix A, which will be the constants are in an equation. So that was a 2 by 2. So 2, enter, 2, enter. Okay, so we get our matrix, which is going to be negative 2, negative 6, 3, and 11. All right, so now we're done with that matrix. So we hit second mode to quit. Go back to our matrix menu. Go back to edit. Now we're going to do B, which was a constant at the end, which was what our actual equations equaled. All right, so enter. And that one was a 2 by 1. It was 2 rows by 1 column. All right, and our constants were 0 and 4. Okay, now in second mode, go back to the main menu. So now we're going to use our the inverse of A times B to find our answers. So we go back to our matrix menu, grab matrix A, so we hit enter for matrix A, hit our x to the negative 1, which makes it inverse of A, and then go grab B, under the name column. We hit enter. So that gives us our answer of x equals -6 and y equals 2. So the right side simplifies to give us our answer, x equals -6 and y equals 2. You can check the systems by graphing, substitution, or elimination. So everything we did basically in the last unit. Advantages. Basically, all you have to do is put in the coefficient matrix as A and the constant matrix as B, then find a to the -1b, and that will always give you your answer, and it always works. Okay, so thank you for following along and taking notes. Please have any questions ready, and we'll see you tomorrow.